When you see this landscape, when you feel this stillness, it feels eternal, doesn't it? You feel like this has always been here, and it will be here long after we are gone. We are a husband and wife team that left our jobs, bought an RV, and have been traveling the United States, living in it for almost 2 years now. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most iconic places in America, Monument Valley. Monument Valley is located on the border of Arizona and Utah. It is Navajo land, and it is one of the most photographed places in all of North America. It's about a 9-mile loop, and it takes you through some less traveled parts of the park. This is a natural arch formed by erosion. There's a short trail that goes out to it, but it's pretty steep. It is a 4.4-mile, moderately difficult hike to the top of Elephant Hill. The changing colors of the sky at sunrise and sunset reflect off the sandstone formations and make it look like they are on fire. It is truly breathtaking to see. Be prepared for crowds at sunrise and sunset, though, because everyone wants to see it. It is something to be cherished and protected. It is not just a pretty picture to hang on our wall. Be respectful of the land and the people who call it home. Be open to the possibility that you may be inspired to do something great with your life. And above all, remember that true beauty is timeless. It is not bound by the rules of our society or the expectations of our culture. True beauty is free, and it is for everyone to enjoy. It is a feeling that should inspire us to be better people. The beauty of Monument Valley has inspired awe and wonder in people for centuries. It has inspired artists to create masterpieces. It has inspired writers to pen beautiful words. It has inspired filmmakers to capture its majesty on film. But most of all, it has inspired people to dream big and to never give up. Even though the crowds were bad at times, we still had a wonderful visit to Monument Valley. The silence and solitude we found in this place was just what we needed. The trail is mostly flat, and it's pretty easy to follow. Everyone says that. It's iconic. People travel from all over the world to see it. What makes it so beautiful? I believe it is its timelessness. These formations have been here for hundreds of millions of years. They were here long before us, and they will be here long after we are gone. In a way, it is a humbling experience to stand in the presence of something so old and so grand. It makes you realize how small you are in comparison. It also makes you realize how precious this place is. It is a sacred place that should be respected and protected. It is not just a pretty place to take pictures. It is a place that has been home to people for centuries. It is a place where people have lived, worked, and died. It is a place where stories have been written and cultures have thrived. Once you reach the top, you are rewarded with a 360-degree view of Monument Valley. We went early in the morning before sunrise. We didn't see anyone else on the trail. It was just us and the desert. As the sun rose higher in the sky, we saw more and more hikers coming up the trail. So if you want some solitude, I would definitely recommend going early in the morning or later in the evening. If you don't feel like hiking down there, you can get a great view of it from the parking lot. From the parking lot, it looks like the arch is shaped like a Mexican hat, hence the name. One of my favorite things about Monument Valley is the colors. The reds and oranges of the sandstone formations just pop against the blue sky. It makes for some amazing photo opportunities. There are also these beautiful little pockets of green where the desert plants and shrubs grow. They are such a nice contrast against the brown and tan sand. This is a rough dirt road, so make sure you have a high clearance vehicle if you want to drive it. Most of the year you can only go as far as the visitor center. The road gets plowed in the winter, so we were able to drive all the way around. Along this road, you will find a few hiking trails and plenty of areas to stop and take pictures. One of the hikes we did was the short but steep hike to the SEO Keywords viewpoint. The views were absolutely breathtaking. It is a bit of a scramble down and back up some rocks to get to the viewpoint, but so worth it. We were the only people there. It felt so peaceful and quiet. I could have stayed there all day. The silence and stillness of Monument Valley is deafening. We're surrounded by these massive sandstone formations that have been standing here for hundreds of millions of years. As you stand there taking it all in, you feel like you are intruding on something. It feels like you are discovering something that was meant to be hidden. Just remember, this place is sacred to the Navajo people, and they have lived here for centuries. We are just guests here, and for good reason. When you see those pictures, when you feel this stillness, it feels eternal, doesn't it? You feel like this has always been here, and it will be here long after we are gone. Hi, welcome back to our channel. Visited during the winter, which I highly recommend if you can do it. There are towns and homes inside the valley and hiking trails that lead right past people's front doors. The entire valley is full of ancient ruins and artifacts from the original inhabitants. It is a powerful place. The summer temperatures get up over 100 degrees, and it's just a lot harder to hike and do anything outdoors. This road takes you through the main tourist area and past all of the famous buttes and mesas. This is where John Ford's Drive is. It's the classic route everyone wants to drive because that's what they see in the movies. It's about a 23-mile round trip, and there are several pull-offs along the way where you can stop and take pictures. And let me tell you, people are lined up waiting to get those pictures. There are designated areas where people can get out and take pictures and walk around, but please stay in those areas. There are also signs that say no trespassing. Please don't go beyond those boundaries. Don't get out in the middle of the road to take pictures. It is dangerous and illegal. There are also areas where you can stop and hike to various viewpoints. One of the most popular ones is the Wildcat Trail. This trail is paved and it's only about a third of a mile. But it's steep and it's uphill. Be prepared. During the winter, the temperatures were perfect. It was cold, but not too cold. We were able to comfortably hike around outside and take in the beauty of this place. But the winter does bring a couple challenges. First, some roads are closed. We'll talk about that more later. And second, the crowds. See, everyone thinks Monument Valley is amazing, so they all show up at the same time. We got stuck behind a line of cars for hours trying to get into the park. So we found some alternative places to explore, and I am so glad we did, because we got to see some parts of Monument Valley that very few people get to see. Monument Valley is sacred to the Navajo people, and it is still inhabited by them. There are two main roads in Monument Valley. One is called the Valley Drive. The other main road is called the Loop Road. This road starts off paved, but quickly becomes a dirt road. Another place we stopped at along the Loop Road was the Mexican Hat. If you're looking for some solitude, try hiking the Elephant Hill Trail. This trailhead is located right next to the campground. One of the most magical things about Monument Valley is the light. Before we leave, we have a lesson to share with you. Monument Valley is beautiful. I think sometimes we forget that beauty is not just something to be consumed. As you plan your trip to Monument Valley, I encourage you to keep this lesson in mind. Until next time, happy exploring. Oh, and one more thing. Be sure to check out our blog for even more tips and advice on exploring Monument Valley.